there, sports fans. This is Playitright TV. I'm Quinito Henson.
Hey, welcome to another episode, guys. Dyan, Castillejo here. Thank you so much for supporting our show. If you haven't liked, shared, or subscribed, please subscribe to our show, Play It Right TV. We always try to bring you the best, the greatest in sports about the latest happenings in our country. Well, Quinito, we're super happy. Our Gilas team had a very successful away campaign. We had 2 wins, beating Jordan and Saudi Arabia. And today, very rare occasion, we're gonna have the top 2 guys of Gilas. Usually they're on opposing sides, but for Gilas, they are together talking about what we need to do to win, and it certainly worked. Tim Cohn and Chot Reyes, welcome, coaches. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hi,
Thanks for
guys.
having us.
Gilas head coach Chot Reyes and Coach Tim Cohn. Would he be the lead assistant? How would you classify Coach Tim, Coach Chot?
He is the
Doesn't really matter.
he's the lead makulit guy.
Let Yeah, before we get into the game and everything, just wanted to ask, how is it working together, the two of you? It's probably been a while. I can't remember the last time you worked together. So how was it? First, I'll ask Chot and then Tim.
It's very comfortable. We go back a long way. So we just kind of renewed our coaching relationship, starting from the last window when we coached in Lebanon, and unfortunately Tim couldn't make it. He got COVID positive for the Saudi game coming back here. But then we continued through the Monday practices and just got our work done in this last window. So for me, it was very familiar, very comfortable, and Tim has, as usual, provided a lot of input, a lot of help, especially on the defensive end for us. And for me as a coach, it's just a great luxury to know that I have someone who has completely got my back there on the bench, working as part of the staff.
And Coach Tim, what do you think about this partnership?
Well, I'll tell you what, he wouldn't be saying that unless I was here. I guarantee you he's saying other stuff when I'm not around. But no, seriously. No, I think the word really is that he used is comfort. There's a real comfortable feel between the two of us. I'm just got his, like you said, I just got his back. I'm going to do whatever he thinks I can do and provide any help that I can. I'm very, very happy just to be with the team and standing behind him. And like I said, it's really, really comfortable. We've worked, although it has been a while since we worked together, but we've worked together multiple times through the years. And so, and it also, I must admit, it's a lot of fun learning the things that, because we coach opposite. We're actually very different in the way we coach. So I kind of counter a lot of the things that he does, and the thing that he does do that I feel like I'm learning a lot from him. So it's really, again, comfortable. I really enjoy it, and I'm having a great time supporting him.
Chot, let's talk about the 5th qualifying window, the World Cup Asia FIBA. We beat Jordan 74-66. We beat Saudi Arabia 76-63. Which game was more difficult to win, Coach Chot?
It's never okay to lose, but at least. But the Saudi Arabia was absolutely a must win. So for me, those are the games that I really find more worrisome than the others.
Yeah, well, the Philippines, you won 74-66. You kept them below 70. But interestingly enough, the very next game, Jordan beat New Zealand 92-73. So that's just a testament of how good you guys were, defensively, especially, Tim.
Well, yeah, I thought we were really focused on that side of the floor, and that's basically been the thing that's kind of driven us at this point is our defense. I mean, just not necessarily the defense, but the effort of the players. I think the effort of the players has been outstanding, and
Mm-hmm.
it's something that Coach Chot really emphasizes over and over and over again. So, um, and we walked into their stadiums and put the imprint of our game onto them, and I thought again it was an outstanding effort from our guys to be able to go out and do the things that we did on again a foreign court.
Coach Chot, two road games that you guys played. Tell us about the Filipino support in the stadium. Jordan, very limited tickets sold to Filipinos, but Saudi Arabia, it was kind of like a limited. How was that? How was the reaction of the Filipino fans in both games?
Well, amazing. The Jordan, they were just given that sliver of section in the arena, but they were very very noisy, and we could hear them, we could feel them. It was kind of difficult because they put that section where the drums and everything was right behind us, so it was really really hard to shout instructions. Um, but like I said, we just kept telling the players and reminding them to communicate among themselves because it was pretty hard to shout instructions from the bench because of the situation. On the Saudi side, we were essentially playing at home, and I said this before to the Saudi media, and I'm repeating it here. Really, kudos to the Saudi Federation, to their coach for allowing them to open up the ticket sales to a lot more Filipinos. They didn't limit it. There were no restrictions, unlike in the other places we played in Lebanon, Jordan, even when we play in Taiwan and other places. So in Saudi Arabia, they opened it up to as many Filipinos as possible, and I think they saw the result. The arena was packed, and it was a really really good atmosphere.
Yeah, you could really feel the energy through the screen, especially with the Filipinos there. And I know that really perks you guys a lot. I know you said they did not allow us to lose, the Filipino fans. It's so good to have them. But talking about the Jordan game, Coach Tim, I was looking at some of the stats, and in the first quarter, both had like such a frenzy of energy and shooting like less than 30% in the first quarter. But the Philippines was able to turn it around, especially with Kai Soto, Scotty Thompson overall performance. Talk to us about how the guys really stepped up big against Jordan.
Well, let's see that. Yeah, we were down at halftime, and I remember Coach Chot coming in and really talking about we need to play our level of game. We need to play our game, and there was a real response. I mean, you could see we were a little frustrated with that first half, I think, and
Mm-hmm.
then guys just came out, especially Scotty and Kai, and just came out and got the momentum in our favor. It was the we were I think as a staff, I know you have to ask coach, but I think as a staff we were a little surprised that we hadn't played as well in the first half, and so when we started playing well in the second half, we were like, yeah, this is what we expected, and I think a lot of it's just you don't get to play these games very often, and there's a super level of excitement to come in and play this, and sometimes
Yeah.
it's hard to control your emotions, and I think the second half we kind of settled down and played the way we thought we could play.
Coach Tim, tell us about your comments on officiating. In the Saudi game, I was counting several traveling violations committed by Saudi that weren't called. Are you affected by the non-calls or by some of the missed calls, some of the wrong calls? How is your feeling during the game when you're seeing a lot of these things going on?
Well, for me personally, number one, you don't know the referees as well. So, and for me, Chot knows them a lot more than I do. And, they referee differently. And there's no doubt about it. What have been obvious calls for us and maybe the PBA, we don't see them at all. So, and it can get a little bit frustrating, but it's on us as coaches to play through those things and to get our players to play through those things. So yeah, there was I'd say maybe 6 or 7, I don't know, 8 traveling calls that they missed multiple times. I remember Chuck turning around and looking at me, and it was like they made like 2 traveling calls in the same possession, and there were no calls. But again, that's something we can't focus on. We got to keep thinking next play, and and I think Coach Chot is really outstanding in doing getting focused and refocused and not letting that thing bother us. And he's got that experience.
So, Chot, I also heard you say that you were mentally prepared to struggle. You said that particularly after the Saudi we beat them like by 38 points in the Philippines. I know they had like a lot of new players. What exactly did you mean by that, and how did you work through that to be able to, as you said, pull off a win that's more difficult because we're expected, I guess, to have a blowout again, and they kept coming back. They kept trying to come close.
Yeah, exactly that point. I thought if we come in with the thinking that it's going to be as easy as it was here in Manila, then we
Mhm.
would be in trouble. So I think the starting point was from our end, from the coach's end, to mentally expect that it's going to be a tough game. And then that is the kind, then we should be able to emit that energy to the and that message to the players that this is not going to be easy. And so I had to start it off from my own thinking to know that it's not going to be easy. Now, and it's not, because number one, we're coming from a very tiring trip. Number two, we're coming from a tough game. Number three, they have a new coach running a new system, several new players. So there were a lot of conditions that were present that lent to the fact that this was going to be really more difficult for us than the previous one. In the previous game we had a Jordan Clarkson. Now we don't.
Yeah.
So these were the things that were on my mind, and we kept telling the players, stay humble, stay hungry, be prepared, expect the game to be tough. Don't think that this is going to be a walk in the park like the first one.
Coach Chot, I count 7 players who played in every game from the fourth to the fifth window. And those 7 players are Bobby Ray Parks, Calvin Oftana, Scotty Thompson, Kai Soto, Jamie Malonzo, Dwight Ramos, and Japet Aguilar. So they played in every game in the last 2 windows. Are we seeing now a core of the composition of the Philippine team that will play in the World Cup? And how do you how do you size up this core, and what kind of pool are you thinking of putting together for training for the World Cup? About how many players do you think you'll be gathering, Coach Shot?
Um, we have no number in mind. We don't think it is going to be a good idea to limit ourselves, because if we say 16, 18, 20, what does that really mean, right? All it does is limit ourselves. So we want to keep it as open as possible, keep the pool a work in progress, keep it fluid, keep getting guys in and out. And I know a lot of people are saying, why don't you name these guys? Why don't you name the lineup already? It's not possible. It's not easy. It's I keep saying, why are we going to limit ourselves? The tournament is still 8 months away. So I think the key is for us to just continuously, like I said, make it a work in progress, get get guys in and out. The beauty of it is that we are seeing not only who can make it, but when they come in and they play with us, we're also seeing the other things. Not only the skills, but how are they in practice? How are they? How do they relate with their teammates when we're in travel? when we are eating or when we're all tired, what is the vibe in the team bus, for example. A lot of these things weigh in on the final decisions, and I know now, unfortunately, a lot of flack is being thrown the way of the Ravenna brothers, and it's so it really saddens me because Kiefer and 30, when there were no players, they've always stepped up and made
That
themselves available. And
that's
now
true.
that they're both injured, and then we win. Now they're getting all of these. I mean, it's couldn't we just support? Could we just support our team regardless? So that's we keep we keep our pool together. We keep training it up and preparing it. If it is 16, if it's 18, if it's 20, if it's 30, if it's 40, like I said, why limit ourselves?
That's true. Kiefer and 30 have always been there, always so willing to play, come back from Japan, where they're doing. So yeah,
Yeah.
get better. But coach, both of you, I guess the Monday training sessions that you guys started, even during the PB really helped a lot. And are you going to be continuing that leading up to February, or what's the plan?
Yeah, we'll take a break first for now because we're entering the playoffs. But yeah, as soon as possible, perhaps early in January, we will resume the Monday only training. Uh, because it's not only for the PBA, but even the collegiate guys who are able to come in and work with us. And if there are some other players who are available, then they can come in. We can take a look at them on the in the Monday sessions.
Coach Tim, let's talk about chemistry. Are you seeing the players playing with a lot more chemistry from the time that you saw them in the first Lebanon game to the last game against Saudi Arabia? Are you seeing a little bit more gelling now on both ends of the floor?
Very definitely. That the whole point of I think that when you get into Coach Chot's system and the way he coaches, he's all about growth and getting better and getting to know each other. I thought he was brilliant in taking us to the Dead Sea. I thought he was brilliant in taking us. We went to see the baptismal place of Jesus while we were there in Amman. And I'm not going to go through all the things that happened, but there were certain things that did happen that I thought that brought us together. And he made a great. We met afterwards. After we went to those places and had a discussion, he led a discussion with the players in terms of how that what that those things meant to them and how that came how that sorry how that affected the team and their place in the team. And anyway, it was just a brilliant thing, and I thought doing those kind of things were just perfect for building the kind of chemistry that he wanted. And it just shows. You can see the camaraderie, you can see the trust, and um, just the everyday interactions with the team. And I thought that team was a real close knit team. Always going to have that pride of wearing the country on your chest, and but you got to make it even go beyond that. And I think Coach Chot has just done a brilliant job so far of doing that.
Well, that's so nice to hear. So a spiritual connection as well, and of course that definitely helps. I mean, I'm curious to to chat with you about how you said that their attitude on the court, off the court, in the team bus, while eating counts a lot. Um, how is it? Uh, in both of your views, are you how's the vibe? And well, you said the camaraderie was good, but are you content with it, or is there something else you want to develop within the team that you think can help us on court?
Um, these are things that you cannot force, Dyan. These things happen on their own. Uh, it is as a result of players genuinely liking to be together, liking each other, fondly enjoying the experience. You can't force these things. And we've been around the teams where it's just so silent in the bus sometimes, or some, and we've been around teams where it's very, there's a lot of chit chat, there's a lot of joking, and talking smack to each other in the bus. So these are the telltale signs when you know that guys genuinely like being together. Like, for example, after games, when they don't have practice, when they go around, do they go around together? Or do you see
Mm-hmm.
pockets going here, somebody going here, some groups going here? Do
Yeah.
they go out to eat together? So all of those things are important. Like Tim said, uh, we're always looking for opportunities where they are able to enjoy more shared experiences, because for me that's crucial in building a team.
Yeah.
Shared experiences. And I've always said this, Quinito, you've heard me say this so many times when people were getting on our case, why couldn't we win, why couldn't we win, I could say, and I kept saying, because we don't have a team yet. I mean, yeah, we have a group of players, but it's not yet a team.
Mm-hmm.
But now I think we're seeing that slowly the team is developing. Now, when
Yay.
you have the team, you have the preparation, you're putting in the skills, the teamwork is starting to come in. Now the winning can follow. It's not the other way around. This is a process. So I hope that's what our countrymen appreciate, that this is a process. We've had some good success this last window, but we still have quite a long way to go. But I hope people are appreciating the process.
Coach Chot, you were talking about your players. Can you tell us who were the jokers of this team? Sino yung mga makukulit? Sino na yung mga serious? Can you just give us an idea of some of these guys who were the jokers, who were the serious guys, the guys who eat a lot, the guys who don't eat a lot, the guys who love ice cream? Coach Shot.
Is
What do
anyone?
we call them? What do we call them, Tim? Calvin and Scotty. What do you call? You have a term for them?
I don't remember, but it's like lovers at first sight. I tell you, those
Yeah,
guys,
but
they're inseparable. They're like little Bobsey twins going everywhere together. They are really really tight.
You mean of
yeah,
Tana and Thompson?
Yes.
yeah. It
Okay.
developed when after the Saudi game the first time, when Jordan Clarkson was still here at the Conrad Hotel. After the game, after dinner, we were, they were just joking around together. There was a band in the stage, and they started dancing, and they just hit it off since then. So, yeah, those are our jokers, Calvin and Scotty, and malalakas kumain. Obviously, the big guys, Scott,
Guy, guy,
Kai,
like
and
Hi.
all the
Ange is
time.
always hungry. Yeah.
Yeah, Ange is always hungry. Ange and Guy.
Ange is always hungry. Yeah. Uh, sa ice cream, basta sa sweets, you cannot beat Coach Jong. He's the champion
Coach
for
John.
sweets.
Okay.
I was gonna ask tweets for the players. Di ba bawal yan during the during the. Are you guys very strict with the players, or they're pretty much professionals and they know what they need to do in terms of, let's say, food, or let's say tardiness? No problem naman there, or kailangan pa rin paalala.
Well, we have no rules. I tell that to the players. If I have to check on you, if we have to take a look, if you're in your room, if we have to have curfews for you, then we have a problem. You're
Okay.
professional enough. You know enough what kind of rest you need. So we don't we trust them in that sense. But we have a dietitian. The players know what to eat, what to stay away from,
Mm-hmm.
and they generally do a good job given the circumstances, of course.
Yeah, no problem naman with the food in the Middle East. Like, in I guess the hotels have pretty good meals that are, like, sufficient enough for all the players, especially for I mean, because you don't want to have anyone to have like an upset stomach. Okay naman yung food.
Yeah, and it's ano naman, it's consulted with our dietitian as well.
Mhm.
Mm,
Well, Coach
nice.
Shot, Coach Tim, we're coming close to the end of our episode, but looking forward. Okay, you mentioned that sometime in January you'll be restarting the Monday sessions, but in February when we do the sixth window against Lebanon and Jordan, there is talk that the games may be held at the Philippine Arena as a dry run for the World Cup. Jordan is going to come in swinging because they really haven't qualified yet. Lebanon, the SBP president Al Palillo said they always want to beat the Philippines, but both games are going to be played at home. So, Coach Shot, how are we preparing for this, and how are we generating the hype to get the fans packing the stadiums to watch our games in the sixth window?
Well, the first order of business is to get the Justin Brownlee's papers in order. He has a hearing today or tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. That's
Tomorrow,
his
yes.
first hearing. Yeah, tomorrow. So that's going to be important for the team moving forward. And then we have to sit down and plot it. We're gonna play on the Feb 24th. So we have to figure out how many Monday practices are required. Is there a possibility for us to play a pocket tournament, a tune-up game during the PBA break? Those are the things that we are taking a look at because especially if Brownlee is already eligible, then we would need to have games with him. Remember, Quinito, the Jordan game and the Saudi game were only our third and fourth games together as a team. So we need games. We need to be able to play games.
Yeah.
Okay,
And, yeah, and finally, I remember a couple months back, everyone was so worried about the November window because you said walang players should be available, but you guys did so well. You must be super happy, and congratulations to both of you. Maybe some of your final thoughts, Tim, and then Coach Chot.
Well, for me personally, it was a
Mm-hmm.
tremendous experience being around those guys and being around Coach Chot. You know, it was an eye opener in terms of going to the Middle East, and I hadn't been to Jordan, I hadn't been to Saudi Arabia, and seeing those countries and interacting with the people was really, I mean, it was. Borders on life changing for me. And so I'm just really, really happy to be a part of everything, and so honored that Coach Chart would ask me to be around. And I'm just looking for as Coach always talks about, I'm just looking for more growth. Watching this team continue to mature and get better, and I think Justin will be a great fit for us. And I think he'll be a great backup to Jordan Clarkson. Uh, and so I think things are looking up, and and it's just really right now it's a fun time to be with the team and to be with the staff. So it's again it's just very enjoyable.
and Coach Shot, your final thoughts, but even before your final thoughts, Coach Shot, if you could just give us an idea of what are the things you want this team to work on, the things to improve on. Would it be free throw shooting because we shot less than 70% in both games? Would it be making sure that we are tuned into the FIBA rules, like the 5 second inbound violation that we had against Jordan, the backing violation that we had against Saudi Arabia? What are the things you want to work on? The little things that could influence momentum, and then of course your final thoughts. Good shot.
I've said this already before. I wish and I hope the SBP could prevail upon the collegiate leagues to really call the games exactly the way the FIBA calls it.
Mm,
Because right now, Quinito, right, the interpretation of rules is different in the NCAA, different in the UAP, and I hope they really try to find a situation where it's really the actual FIBA interpretation of calls,
right.
which a foul is a foul, which travel is the travel. I think that's going to help our players coming in, and then the same thing in the PBA as well. I think that's crucial. I think the PBA now is starting to think of the coaches challenge as well, which now in the FIBA we have. So really, kudos to the PBA for bending over backwards to help. Like you said, Dyan, before we were worried about the players, which players to bring in the November window. Well, the PBA generously allowed, and I think that's my final comment is what the positive that is coming out of all the negative that we've gone through, all the adversity that we came through after the Southeast Asian Games, after the FIBA Asia Cup, is that all the basketball stakeholders came together and got united
You know,
behind the basketball effort. And so now that we have the UAP, the NCAA, the PBA working behind us, Japan Basketball League, Australia is there. Everyone is pitching in. Now we're seeing the results, and that's my wish. That's my wish that the cooperation and the collaboration continues among all the stakeholders. Number one. Number two, for the individual players, the number one is for them to stay healthy. Stay healthy while they're playing. Everyone is back now to their mother teams, whether that's in Japan, in Australia, or in the UAP. So I hope they continue to play well and stay healthy. The players know what they need to work on individually. Um, but other than that, it's just we're really looking forward to a quiet Christmas. I think for now we have a very pleasant, quiet Christmas to be able to refocus and prepare to start up again in January.
Coach Chot, just to interject, no, yung SEA Games, that will happen in May. So we've
May.
got the window coming up in February, and then the PBA will likely end its season first or second week of May. What sort of adjustments do you think the PBA should do to make sure that you have the players suited up and lined up for the SEA Games? Because the objective here is to regain that gold medal. Coach Shot.
We've already been talking about it with Commissioner Willie Marshall, Chairman Ricky Vargas, Governor Al Francis Chua. We've already started planning that schedule. The goal is to make sure that the PBA is over before the SEA Games so that we are able to send again our best players, our best team to the Southeast Asian game to regain the gold.
Okay, that sounds like a plan. But thank you very much, gentlemen, for gracing
So
our
much.
show. We're very honored that you took time out for us. We know that you guys just arrived late last night, but a big and a huge congratulations to the both of you and for the entire Gilas organization for the successful campaign, road campaign, sweeping those two games in Jordan and Saudi Arabia. Thanks very much, guys, for coming on to our show. And Diane, your final thoughts?
Thank you for your courage, your grit, and your staying power. That's all I can say. I know it takes a lot to put this team together, all the things that have gone on, you've been through. I'm so proud of you. And, I like and I think it really helps to have both of you there because you kind of, you get that extra push having that comfort zone. Now you have someone who's really backing you up. So good job, guys. And congratulations. See you on
Congrats
the
again. Thank
See you.
you.
See you.
Thank
Thanks,
Thank you.
Coach
you.
Shot. Thanks,
Thank
Coach
you.
Tim. Thanks, and more power to Gilas.
Let's
Laban
go.
Pilipinas. Thanks,
Vamos.
guys.
Puso.
Thanks, guys. Well, Diane, that's very rare. I don't think we've ever had Coach Shot and Coach Tim together on our show ever. So this was unprecedented, and for them to give us this opportunity to speak with them just hours after they landed, I mean, this was something. Of course, we taped this. It's going to be showing on Tuesday evening, but just want to give the viewers some perspective. This was taped 6:30 in the morning,
Right.
and both coaches have hardly had any sleep. but they wanted to give an opportunity to talk to you guys on Playitright TV, and we want to thank them from the bottom of our hearts for taking time out, and also to congratulate them for this excellent performance in Jordan and the Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, super congrats. And it's so nice to be talking to both of them in after wins, because we've spoken to them before after some losses. It's been tough. And just with everything that the team has been through, I think it's such a big thing that they won both games away. And I like what Coach Chot said, that now we have a team. You see, now we have a team, and that's when we can really start winning. And hopefully things will, I think everybody's aligning in the basketball community, right? So I think it's going to be a very, very exciting FIBA World Cup. And even the next window, Quinito, if that happens in the Philippine Arena, wow, 50,000 plus fans, right?
Yeah, it'll be something. It'll be an amazing event to have both home games played at the Philippine Arena. But, that's just an option. It could also be held at the MOA Arena, the Smart Araneta Coliseum. So whatever happens, whatever venue, I think the Filipino fans will be out there to support Gilas all the way. And with that, we want to thank you again for joining us on Playitright TV. We want to thank coaches Chot Reyes and Tim Cohn for coming on board. And Dyan, another exciting episode with you.
Thank you very much. We hope you enjoyed watching. Thanks, Coach Tim and Coach Chot. Always a pleasure to talk to you. And please like, share, and subscribe to our show, Playitright TV. Let us know what else you'd like to see on our show. We will try our very best to bring that to you. And please visit our sister company, playitright.com. They have lots of products, the brands that you love for all sports, for your fitness needs. It's Christmas time. It's time for shopping. And what better gift than to give someone the gift that can help them stay active and healthy? So please visit them, playitright.com.
All right. Thank you very much. Playitright TV, Quinito, Henson.
Until next time, God bless. Mabuhay. Congrats, Gilas.